everybody. I'm here to talk about my organization, MK Food Revolution, which really got kickstarted through MK Smart. I've been asked to keep it to 10 minutes, so I try to be reasonably concise about everything that's happened over the last 3 months. Sorry, what's happening there? A lot has happened, but let me give you a little bit of an overview of my journey through the project. So, this is me, where I used to live in Leeds, in my little garden on my allotment. I've always been really excited about food. I love growing my own produce. The sustainability of food and where food comes from are really important to me. So this has always been a really important topic to me. And the initial idea to contribute to Milton Keynes was really to start an urban farm. And this idea is still in the making. It's just proven to be a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be, but it's still hopefully going to happen one day. Used to live in Leeds. I moved to Milton Keynes last July, so I had some grand plans when we came to try to connect to the local food community, to try to connect to the local beer and brewing community as well, because that's an interest of mine. But actually, when I started living here in July, it turned out that there was very little in terms of sustainable food, that there was very little in terms of organic food, or ways to even find out about local businesses. I did go I did discover the local farmers market, so this is for example the one in Wolverton, but unfortunately I live in Walnut Tree, and actually for me to drive up all the way to Wolverton, it takes quite a long time to get local food every fortnight. And there are other local farmers markets. There's one in Woburn and one in Winslow, but again, these are all really far away, and I just didn't want to accept the fact that I had to buy all of my food at Tesco's. I don't really, or other similar big companies. I don't like the idea of investing my hard-earned money into a company that doesn't really value my contribution. I'd much rather invest my money into a local organization or company where I know where that money goes. It gets reinvested into the community that I live in. But overall, it was really hard to connect with local traders. I then had an idea. So in Leeds, we have this amazing thing called the Leeds Indie Food Festival, which is basically a festival that goes on over a couple of weeks every spring around May time. And for the Leeds Indie Food Festival, you can buy a passport. The passport's blank, but on the Leeds Indie Food Festival website, you've got a long list of local traders. And with your passport you can get discounts, and you also discover loads of amazing opportunities that you didn't know existed. You can go and attend events, you get priority booking, so it comes with loads of little perks. And I thought, why not do the same thing for Milton Keynes? So I applied to the MK Smart competition with the idea of creating a local food passport, but the passport wouldn't be blank because I didn't just want to drive traffic to the website. I wanted people to feel that if they were buying a passport for a small charge, they'd actually get a lot of the value just out of the passport itself. So I wanted to have the local traders in the passport so you could know where to find them for just buying one. So I applied and then waited because the whole process took a little while. And in the meantime, I thought, why not connect with the local businesses and understand the process that they're going through by starting my own little food business. And actually, I'm hoping that a lot of you have experienced my little food business today, because my company, the Little German Bakery, actually supplied the biscuits and refreshments for tonight. So I started going to a couple of markets. I started attending Christmas fairs and met a lot of the local food traders who were all telling me, we have no way to promote ourselves. People don't know that we exist. So I felt that there was a market out there and that traders as well as customers wanted to connect. I then heard that MK Food Revolution and the food passports were actually going to happen, and that I got the funding from MK Smart. And in my case, that was around £4,000, and that was enough money to produce 100 food passports for people to buy for a small charge, to put on a couple of events, and also to get some branding done really cheaply, which was absolutely amazing. And this is my logo that appeared around that time, which I was very proud of. I actually built the website for the project myself through a really easy system that I'd used before, and That's still what it is today. So if you've taken a flyer, or if you want to come and talk about the project, I'll give you a flyer. This is what the website looks like. On the website, I started calling for traders to register for free. To get the word out there. I then do promotion on social media. I do promotion via the mailing list. And I also started doing a little bit of research about what the people of Milton Keynes wanted from their local food and whether there was actually a big market out there. And I started asking questions. Where do you normally do your food shopping? What's the most frequent food that you buy? And all of these questions. And it actually turned out that in the grand scheme of things, the vast majority of people drove to a big supermarket and bought brands from the supermarket. But actually, as you can see just down here, that a lot of people wanted to buy more local food. And there's 150 people who've taken that survey now, and I think this is 82 or 83%, and by now the number's even grown. So I knew that demand was out there. Once people started to register on the website, they were also quite vocal about what they felt about the food culture in Milton Keynes. And we've got a few quotes there. I'm not going to read all of them out, but a lot of people were quite angry about what was going on, and I just read you the most forceful one. Why is MK such a cultural void? All bar one, ZZ IKEA zombies mindlessly forking out for bland mass-produced crap. You've got your work cut out, good luck. And that was generally the reaction that I had. So people felt really deflated about the food culture that they were living in. They wanted to support the project, but they felt that overall the task was huge. I tried to ignore the latter bit of that sentence, but just to basically get on with it. And actually, what happened was that food producers started to get in touch and they wanted to be involved. And on here we've got a map of all of the food traders around Milton Keynes who registered. By now there's 35 independent food producers on the website, and there's actually a few more around. And they could register on the site, they became part of the map, they had their own little space on the website so people could find them. And as soon as the traders came, I've got a list here for you, I'll have to click through all of them. The customers came as well, but the traders that were included in the site included local beer, local bread, local veg boxes, community organizations, hot food traders, cold food traders, bakeries, cookies, cakes, chutneys, jams. So there was all this produce out there that nobody had ever known about, and these companies had found it really hard to promote themselves, but here they all are. So, having had that amazing response, I then thought, right, I've got to do something for these people, and I created the MK food passports, where you could find information about all the traders, and I also gave every trader a stamp. So the deal was that as a trader, someone will come to me with a passport, and you'd stamp the passport for them, and you'd also give them a little bit of a discount. And that's worked really well so far. So I also got a bit of money for some merchandise, which it's been absolutely amazing. And then I launched the passports at Wilberton Farmers Market. On the first day, I already sold more than 30 of the 100 passports that I had. So there was a really big uptake, and people were really proud to come and get their passports. We had an amazing day, but it was absolutely freezing. The farmers market had actually been cancelled at that point because we had high winds of 50 miles an hour and it was minus 2 degrees out there, but I was going to be there to launch the project. At the same time, traders started to engage with Food Revolution, so this is actually an organization called Urban Griller who launched with Food Revolution. I organized food forums to try to get the traders to talk to each other, and I also started hosting a local beer club which took place at Buckstar Brewery, or still takes place every month at Buckstar Brewery, which was a little bit of my passion, I guess. Through the passport I also started to engage with lots of other organizations. I wanted to put events in the passport because that's really the way to connect people. And the first thing that I did was organize soup with the Christian Foundation, which is a really big model in America where you pay £5 on the door, and in return you get a bowl of soup, you get some really nice local organic bread, and you also get a vote. You then listen to 3 or 4 community groups or artists or social enterprises present their projects. You then vote for your favourite one, and at the end of the evening, the overall organisation that's got the overall most votes wins the income of the evening. We fed our first soup in January at the Christian Foundation House, which went brilliantly, had 50 people there, and the next one is scheduled for the 4th of March. I hosted a workshop for people to learn about how they could start their own food business, and the next big venture is MK Feast at Bradwell Abbey, which is taking place on the 20th of February, which is tomorrow in a fortnight's time. It's on a Saturday, and there's going to be 15 local food traders there with hot food and cold food to take away as well as local community organizations and artists and artisan producers. So please come along, it's going to be a brilliant day. We're going to be there from 11 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, it's going to be superb. It's free entry, come and support your local traders. That's also going to be the last day of the food passports, so if any of you were lucky enough to buy one of the 100 ones, because I sold out a couple of weeks ago, you can win some prizes for the stamps and the passport. Last thing, I just wanted to say that the campaign has had a fantastic reception, not just in Milton Keynes but actually beyond. Through crowdfunding I invested in a Little River Cottage campaign which brought a food van on the road to educate school children about sustainable food and food waste, and in return I got this beautiful book, and it was signed by Hugh Fanley-Whittingstall, saying, you know, good luck, keep fighting to the MK food revolution. So I was really chuffed with that. The response has been just amazing. So I've run it through everything really quickly. If you've got any more questions about food revolution or what I'd like to do in the future, come and have a chat with me. I'm just stood over there. There's loads of flyers for you to take away. I've also got some badges left. And here are my contact details. So please get in touch anytime. I'd love to work together with more community organizations or individuals in Milton Keynes who share my passion for local food. Thank you.